Episode 4, 5-1 Marvel Characters.
His mom says to eat some vegetables. He ate vegetables. He ate one bite of carrot and he had diabetes. So, it's true. Don't eat vegetables.
Mr. Stark.
He's gone insane!
Mr. Stark. I am.
Hello and welcome to Episode 4, 5-1, the best hour of your day and the best list podcast in existence. 5-1 is all about the countdown from our panel of experts on a different topic each week. Today we are featuring the best Marvel characters in our style of counting down from 5 to 1. Our panel today is comprised of 3 rad Marvel experts. My name is Captain Americris, and I'm joined by my 2 heroic sons, Jett and Kade.
What do you mean my name? Like,
Juggernaut, Jetternaut, get it? Do you know who Juggernaut is?
who's Juggernaut?
He's an X-Men. He's from X-Men.
I don't know.
How do you not know Juggernaut?
Is it the guy with the lasers?
No, that would be Cyclops.
Who is it? What is
He's
he
the guy
look
that you can't stop.
like? I don't know.
Okay, we'll have to review this later. Do you know Kade? Do you get that one?
Yeah. Loki.
Yeah, you got it. Okay, good job, guys. Okay, Jett, we're going to start with you. I want you to tell me, what is your experience with the Marvel characters? Are they from comics, movies, TV shows, video games, etc.?
Well, everything you said, they are in.
So your experience with them is everything. Have you ever read a Marvel comic?
Well, I probably read one. I just haven't read a comic, like, in a long time.
Okay, so would you say that your experience then probably does not include the comics?
Mine does.
I thought you said what they're just in.
No, I'm asking what your experience is with them.
Movies,
Video games?
Shows, video games, toys.
Toys, that's a good one. Okay. All right, Kade, here's what I need you to do for me. I need you to give me your best Hulk impression. You got to say something. You know, he says, like, Hulk smash. You got to say words in the Hulk voice. Your best impression.
I can't speak, though.
You got to try. This is your thing. You got to do it. Let's go. Come on. Okay, he does more than breathe. Let's go. You got to give me your best Hulk impression, for real.
Hulk dump!
Okay. All right, I got one more for you, okay? And by the way, if you're going to scream, you got to scoot back from the mic just a little so you don't kill people with headphones on. All right, now you got to do Hulk doing an impression of SpongeBob.
Are you gonna do it or not?
He's thinking.
I'm trying to think of what to do.
Okay, you know that episode of SpongeBob where he's carrying the delivery and he's singing all those songs?
Yeah, Krusty Krab pizza.
Yeah,
Krusty
okay.
Krab pizza.
Do that.
Krusty Krab pizza! It's a pizza absolutely! Krusty Krab pizza!
Okay, good job. You nailed it. That was awesome.
Yeah, sure.
All right. My list and experience with Marvel is solely based on the recent movies and some TV. I've been aware of the comics since childhood, and I might have read some of it.
I've read a few.
But I don't know enough about the comic canon to make any judgment on the characters based on it. So, forewarning, my list for all of you Marvel enthusiasts out there that are going to listen to this and think that I'm an idiot, it's because I've only seen the movies and some of the TV shows, and that's all I can base my opinion on. So, what about you, Kade? Do you have any experience with Marvel that's outside of what Jett and I talked about?
I've read some comics before. My friend brings them to school, we trade comics and stuff. And I read a few. Mostly about Iron Man.
Okay. All right.
Should we get started?
Yeah, I'm ready to get started. I suggest, because I think I know who Jett's number 1 is going to be, no spoilers, but I think you should go last, and I should go next to last, because I think it'll lead into it well. No, wait, I take that back. I think you should go first, and I should go last, because my second choice will lead into your first. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So I'll go Jett, Kade, Jetternaut, Kade, and Captain America in that order. All right?
I thought you didn't like Captain America.
Hey, don't spoil my list. Besides, it worked for my name. These names are hard to come up with. This is my job is hard. You want to come up with names next time?
I never said that.
Okay, I didn't think so. All right, you guys ready to get started?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, Jett, you go first. Who's your number 5?
I don't have. My number 5 is Hulk.
Keep going.
Because he is just a giant green monster that's awesome. He's really hard to destroy, I feel like. Well, Iron Man defeated him, but he was in a big suit. Like, he's awesome to me. Just a big green giant walking around.
Would you call him a Jolly Green Giant?
When he's not Hulk.
Jolly Green Giant is a brand of vegetables that you're probably not aware of.
I do not know.
They used to have these commercials with this big green guy, and he was a giant, and at the end it would say, Green Giant.
I don't. Is it old?
Yeah, it's before your time.
Well, Jett says that vegetables give you diabetes, so.
It is true. I read a rumor about it that a kid he got new teeth, like those metal teeth thingies. I don't know what they're called, but after his mom says to eat some vegetables, he ate vegetables. He ate one bite of carrot and he had diabetes. So it's true. Don't eat vegetables.
You heard it here, folks. PSA, public service announcement. Do not eat vegetables. If you have one bite of a carrot, you're going to get diabetes. From our expert here, Jett, the vegetable expert, preeminent in the world, I would say.
Yeah, I've never had diabetes. I was really close. I tried to eat a bite of vegetables and like wait, I might get diabetes, and like just when you look at it, you know you're gonna get diabetes. Okay.
Well, you eat pizza a lot, and pizza's made out of tomato sauce.
And tomatoes a fruit.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Tomato is a fruit.
So, Jett, you picked Hulk. I like your choice. He didn't make my list, but he's definitely an interesting superhero. He's got a good backstory, I think. And he's fun to watch on screen. I don't think he's like a strong enough character to carry his own movie. Like the movies that have been just about Hulk, I've kind of been bleh. But the Avengers movies, I really like him as a side character. So I think he's a good choice for your number 5. You got any thoughts on Hulk, Kade?
Hulk did make my list. I thought he was awesome. How he mutated and stuff. I thought it was really cool how he can just turn into a big beast. I remember in the Avengers when the giant space worm thingy was chasing him, and he's the Avengers are like, Hulk, do your thing. He goes, okay, and he turns into a Hulk and he destroys that giant space worm thingy.
Can you do an impression of Hulk destroying the giant space worm thingy?
He starts off as a normal guy. He's like, okay, and then just. All
right, not bad. I liked your SpongeBob or your Hulk doing SpongeBob a lot better though.
Yeah, I could hurt my throat.
All right, what do you got for your number 5, Kade?
My number 5 is Loki. Loki is one of my favorites because I always thought he was a cool villain. Of course, the most funniest scene from the Avengers is when Loki's getting thrown around by Hulk in the Avengers. I thought that was funny.
That's probably my favorite part in the movie.
Yeah, he's also a cool villain. With the staff thingy. I always thought that was cool. How he can just spawn things and then kill everybody.
Well, I'm not trying to be mean about Loki, but...
But you think it's bull, don't you?
No, I think he's a stupid little guy, walks around, that is weak, that just betrays Thor when Thor is better. Who was that guy that was pretending to be Loki? I don't know. Maybe it was Loki, because he's stupid. When you look at him, he's trippy, because it's like doing drugs when you look at him, okay?
All right, so Jett doesn't like Loki very much. He didn't make my list either. I think it's an interesting choice, though. Spoiler for my list, I didn't put any villains, and I probably should have. But I was telling Jett earlier today, there's none of the Marvel villains that really stand out to me as being really awesome, so it was tough for me to put one on.
What about DC villains? Is there any good DC?
Maybe we should save that for our DC episode.
True.
Of 5 to 1.
Right. All right. Any more thoughts?
No, I'm ready to move on. My number 5 is Wolverine. I picked Wolverine, one, because I wanted to have a choice from the X-Men, and he's the obvious choice. I think those movies are okay. I like some of them. I don't like some of them, but I think they totally fail without Wolverine. He carries that series to me as far as the movies go. Again, I can't speak for the comics. It's a very, very popular comic line that goes back a long time, and there's lots of characters in there. As far as the movies go, Wolverine is really the only one I really care about and I'm invested in that series. Secondly, Hugh Jackman, the actor that plays Wolverine, totally kicks ass as Wolverine. He nails that character. He's a really cool guy in real life. He's a really good actor. He's talented, and he's shredded. The dude is ripped, right?
Speaking of Wolverine, let's skip my number 4. He is my number 4.
Okay, go ahead. Talk about it.
So, I like Wolverine a lot. And some of the reason why is because his villains. Well, there's one villain, like Deadpool. He's freaking awesome in the movie. He is so powerful that Sabretooth and Wolverine have to team up on him to kill him. Also, speaking of Sabretooth, he's an awesome villain, I think. I don't really like him in the comics and stuff, but I like him in the movie a lot. He's pretty freaking awesome.
Are you talking about the Sabretooth from the Wolverine movie,
Yeah.
or the Sabretooth from the X-Men movie?
Not the X-Men.
Yeah, I think they did a better job with Sabretooth in the Wolverine movie, and the actor that plays him actually is one of my favorite actors too. His name's Liev Schreiber. He's very talented, and I think they did a really good job with that movie. And Deadpool was really cool in that movie. Now the Deadpool movie. Do you guys, either of you, have Deadpool on your list?
I do.
Okay, well, I'll wait to talk about him then.
I don't.
We'll hold it off for that discussion then.
Well, one more thing on Wolverine. You know, I really like Wolverine. He didn't make my list, but I prefer honey badgers. I think they're a more vicious animal. You know, pound for pound, they'll
Honey
definitely-
badger don't care.
Yeah, true.
They're both cool animals. Honey badgers are probably a little bit cooler, but it makes a much less cool
Stop.
hero name.
We're not talking about animals, so shut up and let's move
Okay,
on.
mister, talk about carrots and diabetes for 25 minutes.
All right.
All right, so what are we on? We're on Cade's number 5, right? No, you already did yours.
No,
Cade's number 4. Go ahead.
My number 4. This was a tough one, but I'm gonna put Hulk at my number 4. I know we already talked about him for a little bit, but I put Hulk as my number 4 because I explained my reasons already. So.
Can you do an impression? I'm just kidding. We're done with the impressions for now. For now. All right, so we'll go on to number 3s then. Did I do not? No, I haven't done my number 4 yet. I'm off here. Okay, my number 4 is Thor because it rhymes. Number 1, I really like the movies. I think they did a good job with them. They aren't my favorite Marvel hero movies, but they're up there. I have a little bit of a man crush on Chris Hemsworth, the actor that plays Thor.
Same here.
He's really cool. He's got that like really awesome Australian accent that he doesn't have to hide as part of his portrayal of Thor. In some of his other movies where he's got to try to like speak American, he struggles because he's got such a thick accent, but he doesn't have to hide it with Thor, and it works. He's also shredded. I mean, the dude is like gigantic and has muscles everywhere, so he carries that character really well.
I like the Wolverine actor more. He really fits in as Wolverine.
I agree. They're both. I think Hugh Jackman is probably a better actor overall, but I have more of a man crush on Chris Hemsworth. Also, Thor has awesome powers. I mean, he's got that what's it called, the Mjolnir hammer that lets him do basically anything when he's on Earth, and he's like Marvel's version of Superman because of that. I guess when he doesn't have the hammer, he's not as powerful, so it's a little bit like kryptonite.
Still better than Captain America, though, when he does, even if he doesn't have his hammer. You know, I thought that scene, when he was fighting Captain America, should have gone more Thor's way. Thor's a better superhero to me. Really cool backstory on his planet and stuff like that. I love Thor's backstory too. Yeah,
he has a cool backstory. I agree with you. I think that if you're holding to the tradition of the comics of the Avengers, Captain America is the leader of the Avengers. He's the first Avenger, and the problem is, like I said, I don't use the comics as my source here for judgment. I'm only using the movies. He sucks in the movies compared to the other guys, and it's not believable when he can hold his own against Thor. Like, we watch that and we think, yeah, right. Unless you're a true comic lover and you're like, yeah, it's supposed to be like this. But for all of us who aren't fully versed in the comic history, it's like, yeah, right. Thor would destroy Captain America. There wouldn't be any battle. It would be a slaughter, right?
You know, his backstory isn't even that good either. Like, I know the Captain America movies didn't do successful except for Winter Soldier. That was pretty. And the new one that came out, Captain America vs. Iron Man. You know, his backstory though, like, and how he became Captain America was not very exciting. His backstory, you know, he was a puny soldier that couldn't do anything until he got steroids. Like, legit, they said it was steroids, a new steroid, and they put it in him, and he's a superhero now. So, you know, no really cool backstory except puny to big.
I don't disagree.
Well, and I thought about it, and here is Thor's true story. Before Thor was made, Bob the Builder was building, and then when Thor was bored, he had the hammer, and he says, "Use it wisely," and that's how Thor became Thor.
Did you really bring up Bob the Builder?
Yeah,
I don't think he's
he has
part
a hammer.
of Marvel
He has a hammer.
canon. Oh my gosh!
I have a hammer upstairs. Does that make me Thor?
How about Dora the Explorer? Does she have anything to do with this?
Yeah, she does actually.
She kind of looks similar to Winter Soldier. Her hair.
That is kind of true.
All right, I think we're getting off track here. Let's move on to our number 3s. Yeah? Anything else to say on Thor?
Nope.
All right, number 3, Jett.
Wait.
He's got to go find his list.
Yes, Carnage. He is so cool. He looks awesome, and like if you've seen Spider-Man and heard the comics, that I don't know how to say it. That symbiote. Yeah.
Symbiotic.
Yes. Yeah.
SimCity.
So when it carries
Simulation.
it carries on to go.
Simcara.
The Sims.
The Sims. Simple. The Simpsons. Swimmy, Samsonite. I was way off.
All right. Okay.
Dumb and Dumber.
Okay.
Oh.
So he is so powerful that Spider-Man and Venom have to team up together to defeat Carnage.
Yeah, from what I understand, that black stuff that came from space that became Venom got its powers that were similar to Spider-Man's because he was on Spider-Man first. So he absorbed Spider-Man's powers, plus had his own, or whatever was added to it by the next guy who became Venom, Eddie something.
Yeah, Eddie.
And Eddie Brock, I think was his name. And so he was like more powerful than Spider-Man because he had all of Spider-Man's powers plus whatever else he'd picked up along the way. And then at some point somehow had a baby, and that baby became Carnage, and Carnage had all the powers of Venom plus whatever he picked up along the way. And so, yeah, he is more powerful than both Venom and Spider-Man. They had to team up, enemies teaming up to take down a common foe.
So I guess the enemy of my enemy doesn't matter there.
The enemy of your enemy is your friend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Usually it's your enemy. Your enemy is my enemy, but I don't think it's that. Your enemy is my friend because...
See an enemy?
An enemy? Anemone?
Enemy spotted.
Enema? Oh, you guys don't know what that
Animation.
is. All right, so we're going on to Cade's number 3, unless you have anything else to say about Carnage. No. All right, Kade, what's up? Your number 3.
Oh, I forgot to say this before. My number 3 is Thor, so I forgot to say this before.
That's okay. We're going to have some redundancy. We talked about Thor, so we'll go on to my number 3 if that's okay.
Yeah, Carnage, he's cool and all, but I think he should have made the list.
No, dude, you know how powerful he is? He's so freaking powerful. He's really hard to kill. He's better than that high Loki dude that got destroyed by Hulk.
Do you guys know where this theme song is from?
No, it sounds familiar.
You might recognize it because for a while you would walk into my room while I was watching Netflix and I would have this on, and this is the intro song. Does that give you a big clue?
Where is it from?
Oh, it's from
a show that I watched on Netflix.
What is the show called?
I'm asking you to guess.
Oh, it's what's that show called? It has like the enemy, like the Punisher.
The Punisher is in the show, yeah. He's kind of an enemy, kind of a friend, though, in the show. It's from Daredevil.
Yeah, that's what it is. I forgot.
Yeah, I picked Daredevil as my number 3, and I honestly thought about putting it higher. I really love this show. I couldn't put it over my top 2, though, just because I felt like it would be blasphemous. But I'm not talking about the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie that is pretty much unwatchable and horrible. I am talking about the TV show that is a Netflix special show, like produced by Netflix and only available there. Is awesome, is really cool. He's got a very cool backstory. I don't know how true it holds to the comics because I haven't read them, but in the show he is a kid of a boxer. His father's a boxer, a fighter, and his father, they struggle for money, but he loses a lot, and sometimes he loses on purpose because he gets paid extra money. Sometimes, like criminal, or I don't know if criminals is the right word, mobsters have bet on the fights, and so they pay him to lose so that they make money on their bets. And he hates doing it, and he's actually a pretty good fighter, but he's just known for like being able to go and get knocked down a million times and always get up. And one day, he really wants to win for his kid, and he's got a shot against a really good fighter, and he gets offered money again to lose, and he turns it down. And he really just wants to show his kid that he could win and make his kid proud. And it's just him and his kid. I don't know what happened to the mom. And in the fight, before the fight, when he turned down the offer, the guys who were paying him the money said, "Hey, dude, this isn't an option. You either take it or we'll kill you," basically. So he's forced to take the money to lose the fight. And when he gets there, though, he starts thinking about his kid and how he really wants to win for him. So I skipped a big part of the story. I'll get to it in a minute. But anyway, in the fight, he wins. Like, he decides, screw it, I'm just going to go for it. And he wins the fight. And then he tries to leave and get out of there quickly. And they hunt him down and kill him. So the kid loses his father. Before that happened, the kid, he saved somebody's life. It might have been his father's or somebody else's by pushing them out of the way when there was an accident happening on the street. And there was a chemical spill in the accident, and it got in the kid's eyes, and he was blind. So he's Daredevil is blind, and his father died, and he had to go through a lot of tragedy. He gets picked up by this guy he's still kind of mysterious on the show. We've learned a little bit about him, but who trains him how to basically be a badass, kind of like how Batman was trained in the DC universe, but even cooler, in my opinion. And also, he's blind, so it's awesome. And basically, he grows up in Hell's Kitchen, which is an area of New York City, and decides to kind of be a superhero that's makes choices sometimes that aren't always superhero-ish, but ultimately he is a superhero. And the way they do the show, it's really cool. The action sequences are awesome. His fights are always awesome. It's one of my favorite TV shows.
Does he know that his son is dead?
His
father.
His father, yeah. He knew his father died when he was a kid. So he was taken to like a hospital because he went blind, and his father died, and he was like inconsolable and was kind of going crazy until this guy came along, who his name is Stick, who is also blind, and trained him how to fight.
Why is everybody blind?
Just those two. Nobody else is.
Well, I don't have much to say because I haven't seen the show yet, but I heard it's a good show. A lot of kids watch it at my school.
Yeah, I thought about getting you guys to watch it. It's a little bit violent, too violent sometimes for kids. I mean, it's a pretty graphic show.
We play MKX. That's pretty graphic.
It's different though when it's animated.
And I also know some stuff that I shouldn't know at this age, and I'm only 9.
Like puberty?
More.
More? Uh-oh. That's enough. I don't want to hear it. Okay, so I know you guys don't know a lot about Daredevil. That's why I kind of went into some detail there. But maybe I'll let you guys watch it. It's really, really cool.
You should let us watch it.
Okay, maybe I will. All right, let's move on to our number 2s. What do you got, Jett?
Number 2 is Venom, because have you seen the movie number 3? How cool.
I've never seen a movie called Number 3.
Have you seen the number 3?
SpiderMan 3?
SpiderMan 3. You know how cool Venom looks in that? He looks freaking awesome.
You like him because of his character or his looks?
Character and looks and everything.
He does look really cool. I'll give you that. That's not my favorite Spider-Man movie. We've talked about this, but Venom was probably the highlight of that movie.
Also, when it's in this movie, Spider-Man has a few different like songs like this. This one probably is my favorite. I love his Spider-Man musics in the thing. Not Spider-Man, that one. Like the ones from the actual
Spider-Man.
movie. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
The one from the actual movie, like this.
Spider-Man.
I love it so much. It's really good.
This is a good song. Okay, can you sing the Spider-Man song?
Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Spider can do whatever man can. Man, Spider-Man.
That's really, really good. My son is so talented.
What about you do what about the one you made up?
What?
The never mind.
Did you make up a Spider-Man song?
Yeah, he said.
Oh, it's just Spider-Man.
Yeah, he made a Spider-Man song a while ago. He's saying he got a spider bite on his fingernail.
I got a
and stuff.
spider bite on my fingernail train. I got a spider bite on my fingernail train. Spider-Man gotta climb over the house.
Okay. Good song. Good job. Okay, yeah. So anything else to say about Venom? He's definitely cooler than the other villain in that movie, the Sandman.
Yeah. Sandman really. Well, don't say he's cool. He's a cooler villain, because Sandman isn't a villain. He is a good guy. He didn't.
That hunts down.
He didn't mean to kill his uncle. He didn't.
Yeah, but he didn't. He made a lot of bad choices after that. Now, granted, he's got a sad story that got him there, but then once he got there, he made some pretty bad choices, I would say.
Yeah, like it's kind of hard to explain. Like, did he was sad after he killed his uncle, but he stole money because his daughter was dying. He needed to.
So this happens a lot in real life when like NFL athletes and very like high profile athletes get themselves in trouble with the law, and it's like maybe they didn't make the best choice, maybe they aren't a bad person, but man, they sure did put themselves in a bad situation, right? Being around the wrong people late at night in the wrong places where trouble happens, right? And when you're a high profile athlete and you're a celebrity, you make a mistake like that or something happens where you are, it's going to make national headlines and news. So Sandman's kind of the same way. He was trying to do maybe a noble thing for his family, but put himself in a situation where he was, robbing a place and had a gun in his hand, and he didn't mean to shoot him, but man, he made bad choices to get him there, right? So he's not exactly innocent, I would say.
But he isn't guilty, so he's just something.
He's a villain.
He's towards the not innocent side.
Well, I was looking at, I watch TV, so I watch, the new Spider-Man, what's it called? Just cartoon, and it's really good, but when I was younger, I know I was 4, and you guys are going to smile, but never mind that. But when I was 5 or 4, when I watched it, the Spider-Man cartoons were way better back then than they are current right now. So for me, so is the movies. I know Lizard and what's it called, Electro were in the cartoons and stuff, but they could have used a different villain for this Amazing Spider-Man.
Like the VOD villains?
Wow, they're so stupid.
All right, so you had Venom as your number 2. Kade, who do you have as your number 2?
My number 2 is Deadpool. Deadpool is... it was tough to put him at my number 1, but my number 1 has been my number 1 for so long, and I just couldn't give him up, okay? But Deadpool, I love his character. He's got all the powers of the X-Men, and you can only kill him by basically cutting his head off. Or, throwing him into lava, I guess. So, I loved his new movie. I thought it was hilarious. Kind of disgusting at the same way, too, with all the gory parts.
Yeah, it's really funny and definitely not a kids-friendly movie, but, we don't exactly hold you guys to a high standard when it comes to... We let you guys watch almost everything.
And I know something that we will not mention in this house, so... Okay.
But yeah, the new movie is really good. It's really funny. It's I compare that character to the what's his name? Deadpool character that we saw in the X-Men movies, or in the Wolverine movie, I should say. and they're it's even the same actor, but the characters are different. I kind of liked the Deadpool character in the Wolverine movie for different reasons than I liked the Deadpool character in the Deadpool movie. He was like really cool looking and had all these awesome powers, and was kind of, I mean, he might be my favorite villain in the Marvel universe. He was just very like ominous, and I don't even think he had a mouth, so he couldn't even talk, right? But he was very cool looking. But I did love the new movie. It's really funny.
Well,
His character is awesome too. How he kills people. He got 12 bullets, and like there's a ton of guys there, and he jumps over the car, does some crazy flip, and headshots 3 people at the same time. I thought that was sick.
So, like Deadpool and Spider-Man, they have.
Oh, Deadpool!
Wait, shut up. Alright, so Deadpool and Spider-Man are really not that similar. But there's only one thing, like no matter what, what's it called? No matter what, if they're in a serious situation, they always make puns.
Yeah, they are pretty punny.
I already know that joke. I've heard it a bunch of times.
I use it a lot, so I'm sure you have. Yeah, I think I had this as an honorable mention. I'll go ahead and mention it now because it applies. Ant-Man. Have you guys seen that one yet?
No.
I have seen some of it, yeah.
He didn't make my list, but it's another really funny movie like Deadpool. And the actor that plays Ant-Man is one of my favorite actors. His name's Paul Rudd. You guys need to watch that one. It's just as funny as Deadpool, I think.
I doubt it.
It really is. You should see it. It's good. All right, my number 2, unless you guys have anything else to say about Deadpool.
Nope.
Okay. My number 2 is SpiderMan, which is why I thought I should lead into your next one, Jett. I thought about it for a long time and almost made him my number 1. He is kind of the Bannerman front lead character hero for Marvel. And Marvel is deeper and richer, in my opinion, than the DC universe. It has more diverse and interesting characters, but it lacks the heavy hitters at the top, like Superman and Batman, that DC has. But Spider-Man belongs in that group of, if you're going to have a Mount Rushmore of superheroes, Spider-Man goes on there with Superman and Batman, and I don't know the fourth, but those are probably the top 3 across all the hero universes. He's iconic. He goes back a long time. The comics have been around forever. There were cartoons when I was a kid and even way before that. The movies were kind of the, I would say Spider-Man and X-Men both were kind of the start of this new, comic superhero movie, we'll call it trend or industry that's huge now, right? The Marvel universe, the Avengers, the DC universe with the Batman, it's a huge industry. They make tons of money. It's very popular. It's everywhere. And it was around when I was a kid, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. And I think that Spider-Man was kind of the renaissance of that. Kind of started the trend of these huge movies. Those Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire in the early 2000s were massive, giant movies. They were record-breaking movies when they came out as far as opening weekends and box office ticket sales.
Of course, Star Wars beat them.
Of course, yeah, The Force Awakens beat everything. But yeah, those were huge movies, and I prefer the Tobey Maguire series, those 3, to this new one, The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. I'm not as big a fan of it. It's still good, but I don't like it as much, even though I really like the actress.
Same
Me either.
You guys feel the same way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the old Spider-Man was better than the new one, by far.
All right, Jett, so I'm assuming... Go ahead. What's your number 1?
My number 1 is Spider-Man.
I thought so. Okay, so let's share your thoughts on Spider-Man.
So, like, Spider-Man, me and Kade keep arguing. Well, not really like a mean argument, but we're saying, I think that Spider-Man looks cooler than Batman. For sure. Even the new Batman, even every kind of Batman. Like, especially when Spider-Man is in the light, like when it's very bright. For example, in number 3, when he fights Sandman in that thing, he looks awesome when he fights Sandman. And I would say Spider-Man would win. It's funny that Batman can defeat the strongest superhero by far, but Batman...
Villain, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean when he...
Yeah,
Superman?
he could defeat Superman because of kryptonite.
That's a bunch of bull.
He can. He can just hold kryptonite in his hand, and
It's still bull.
And
His armor is legit made out of kryptonite.
and
It's still bull.
and I know. And and Spider-Man can probably just destroy Batman.
I'm with you, Jett. I think Spider-Man is way cooler than Batman. This isn't a DC podcast, so I won't go into my thoughts on Batman too deep here. But
Just be honest. He's
there are some versions of Batman that I like. I really like the original Batman movie from the late 80s with Michael Keaton. I like that movie a lot.
Do you like the Spider-Man ones more?
Probably. I even like the Batman that had the Penguin in it and Catwoman way back in the day.
That one was pretty good.
The Penguin as a villain, I think he's kind of stupid.
That movie, though, he was really good. I mean, Danny DeVito, he's an actor. He really pulled it off. He was really creepy, and it worked. The other Batmans after that were crappy. And then the new Batman series has some cool aspects, but I'm not as big a fan as everybody else is of those movies. And I definitely like Spider-Man better. Kate, you got any thoughts on Spider-Man?
Nope.
None? Okay. We're up to your number one, Kate. Give me 1 second because I want to try to guess what it is, okay?
Okay.
Sandpaper.
Am I right?
Nope.
What song is that from?
The name of the song is Iron Man. It is by Black Sabbath. Or is it Black Sabbath?
Black Sabbath.
Yeah, Black Sabbath. And it's a very famous song way before the Iron Man movies came out. Anyway, if this is not your number one, what is?
My number one is Black Widow from the Avengers. I'm just kidding. It's Iron Man. You got
I
it.
thought so.
Yeah,
Why is Iron Man your number one?
No, stop. You said it was number one. Batman was your number one, you said.
Batman is not part of the Marvel universe.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
DC. So yeah, I put Iron Man as my favorite because he's been my favorite for a long time. And I loved all of his movies.
Marvel.
I loved all of his movies. Like all of them, none of them disappointed me. You know, I don't want to come out. One would be nice to come out right now. Another one would be nice, but I don't want like a lot of them because the old ones maybe fade away when the new ones come out. And even like in his first movie, I thought it was really cool. With his first suit and the flamethrower. I was like, oh, he looks awesome. I remember collecting the little toys, like the little small ones that are like a few inches tall.
That's me.
Are they what they called? I know the Star Wars ones are called. Oh, geez, now I can't even remember what those are called. I think the Marvel ones were called like Marvel Heroes or what are they called? I'm forgetting.
I don't know.
Okay, anyway, go ahead.
I used to
For the listeners, they're action figures, but they're like half the size of normal action figures.
They're like really short. I used to collect a lot of them. Like
they
all
are
the time.
short and they're kind of like stuck in a certain pose, but they are super durable and they look really cool. And we have a ton of them.
I didn't care that you can't move them. I still played with them all the time.
Yeah, he played with them 24/7 until he got into WWE.
No.
Galactic Heroes. Is that what that's what Star Wars were called? And then the Marvel ones, they actually even had a TV show with them, and it was the TV show was named the same thing as the little guys. But
I do remember that. The little animated.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I used to watch that all the time.
what was it called?
I think it was just called Marvel Heroes.
Marvel Heroes, something like that.
Yeah, I used to watch that. I loved it so much. And Kate, when you said until I got to WWE, I stopped playing with those like 3 years ago. Okay, I do not play them anymore, and I haven't played them for a while.
Okay, well, I think we're done with this one.
Well, I have Iron Man as my number one too, and I would like to talk about him a little bit if you guys approve.
Yeah.
Okay, the actor, I'm going to start with him, is Robert Downey Jr. Totally awesome as Tony Stark. Cocky, genius, brilliant,
Funny,
arrogant, funny, snarky, right? All of those things that make him like an asshole but also lovable is why I love Tony Stark. He's perfect. The suits, as you mentioned, Kate, are awesome. All of the stories, in my opinion, are really good. I love the very first one when he's a prisoner and he works with that scientist, engineer, whatever he is, guy when they're trapped on building the first suit. Awesome scene. And then when he finally gets it done and he bursts his way out of there, it is so cool. That's my favorite moment in any of these movies that we've talked about. Now, I haven't seen the new movie Civil War with Captain America versus Iron Man yet, and I've heard it's good, but my problem is that if Iron Man loses to Captain America, I'm done with the Avengers. Like, that'll be it for me, and I don't want to do that yet. And I don't know who wins. I don't care if you guys know. Don't tell me, because I will probably see it at some point. But if that happens, I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna watch any more Avengers movies, so that's why I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, Captain America, totally lame. You know, steroids and shields. He's not cool. And for the leader, I bet most of the Avengers can beat Captain America in a fight. Like, Thor would just kill him. I think Hulk would honestly beat him. I know Iron Man should beat him, at least. And probably not Hawkeye and Black Widow. You know, they're kind of like side characters, I would say. They're not really, you know.
And Batman and SpiderMan would beat him also.
Batman is not in Marvel.
I know, I'm just saying. If they faced,
okay.
Batman would win.
Yeah, I think Batman versus Captain America is actually, it might be a pretty even fight, I think.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Both of them basically don't have any superpowers. I guess Captain America, I don't know, jumps high or something. But Spider-Man does, and he can have an advantage.
Okay,
and also, and if Batman tries to attack him, Spider-Man has spider senses, and he can sense it.
My spidey sense is tingling.
Yeah.
Or is that my balls? I can't tell.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that's it.
All right, you guys got any honorable mentions you want to talk about?
Nope.
I think I have one. It's what's his name? I forgot his name. I can't remember.
Okay, moving on. I had two. We already talked about Ant-Man. The other one is another show on Netflix called Jessica Jones. Have you heard of that one? Jessica Jones is a Marvel superhero who I had no idea who she was until I watched the Netflix show, and it's almost as good as Daredevil, and in some parts it's better. It also stars Luke Cage, who is a Marvel hero also, and really, really good. I won't spend too much time on it because it's just an honorable mention, but I was going to either put that one or Daredevil on my list. Daredevil made my list, and Jessica Jones made my honorable mention. Now, before we close out, I thought we would start a new segment on our shows before we close out, after we get through our top 5, where we each list our least favorite of the 5 to 1 category that we picked. I don't have a name for this segment yet because it's not 5 to 1. It's, maybe
1 to 5.
No, it'd be like, 99 or something, or whatever the lowest number on your ranking list would be. But for now, we'll just call it our least favorite. I think this, we've made it pretty clear on this episode just in talking about who most of our choices are going to be, and I'm kind of putting you guys on the spot without having time to think about it. But go ahead. Who is your least favorite Marvel character?
Captain America.
Captain America.
Captain America for me, too. Although, I would give some consideration to the guy who shoots arrows, Hawkeye, because he's really boring.
Yeah, his character is not cool. He's kind of weird in the Avengers. He played a very side story. He didn't do much to,
I disagree with you. If you look at the first Avengers, he's kind of funny in it. You remember when he was talking to him?
Yeah, he was a little bit better in that movie. Captain America, to me, we're hating on him a lot. I have only seen the first movie. I haven't seen The Winter Soldier, which was supposedly really good.
The Winter Soldier is at least better.
I haven't seen it. I've heard it's really good. We do own it. I need to watch it at some point. His origin story to me is just boring. I mean, I just never got on board with it. I never really attached to the character or the actor. I don't know, just not my thing.
Well, Marvel needs to realize what the people want. They do not. Maybe some people want Captain America to win, but I think most people want Iron Man to win. Because think about the characters. Black Panther, freaking awesome. Spider-Man is so freaking cool.
Yeah, we know you like Spider-Man. We get it. All right, guys, before we wrap this up, do you guys have any final thoughts?
Wait, I just realized. When is Spider-Man, is it the face of Tony Maguire, Peter Parker, or is it the face of the Amazing Spider-Man of Peter Parker?
I don't understand your question.
Me neither.
You know how Tony Maguire looks...
Tobey Maguire?
Yeah, looks different than
Oh, so you're asking what does Peter Parker's face look like?
Yeah, and the new one.
In what new one? In
Civil War.
Oh, I didn't even know he was in Civil War.
Yeah.
I don't know if Disney owns Marvel, kind of like Disney owns Star Wars now, And if they are going in the direction of the Amazing Spider-Man as the new Spider-Man franchise, then they probably didn't go Tobey Maguire. They probably picked Andrew Garfield. Or maybe they picked a new one altogether because it's a new line. Who knows? I mean, the thing with these is that there are so many different... There's so much different source material in the comics where the comics are all different. The Amazing Spider-Man is a different comic than the Spider-Man that Tobey Maguire's was based on. They could go and make a ton of different ones. It doesn't have to be linear. It doesn't all have to be in the same canon, in other words. Does that make sense?
Toby.
I
think Tobey did a good job on being Spider-Man and being Peter Parker. I think he did a really good job.
Barman.
Well, in the comics, there are different versions of Peter Parker. I mean, the one that Andrew Garfield portrayed is a different version of Peter Parker than the one Tobey Maguire did. I find Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker more likable as a character. He's kind of just a normal guy that is a nice guy who's kind of shy and is like a lot of people that watch the movies. He's like me. He's like you guys. Andrew Garfield is more of the jokester, get in trouble asshole type, and there are those kinds in the world too. It's just not who I identify with personally.
Also, I forgot to say something about Spider-Man. I think he has a really cool storyline of getting bit by a spider makes him have all these superpowers.
I told you guys.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it is cool. All right, Kate, you got any final thoughts before we wrap up?
No, I think I'm good.
You're good? Okay. Well, thank you to everybody for taking the time to listen to our 5-to-1 episode on the best top 5 Marvel characters. Please check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/5to1podcast. The 5 and the 1 are numbers and not words. Give us your opinions there. Let us know why you agree with our list or why you think we're idiots. We welcome all feedback. It's also a great spot to leave us ideas for future episodes. Also, please take the time to give us a review on iTunes. Like I said, we welcome all feedback, and it helps our podcast to gain exposure. We're still working on those other avenues of communication, so stay tuned for updates on that. And please join us next time on 5-to-1 for our discussion on...
I've decided with Mom, she's going to be our special guest because Kade's going to be gone, that we're going to do top 5 restaurants to eat.
Top 5 restaurants to eat at. You heard it from the man who makes the choices around here.
What's it called? What's my name again?
Jett or not?
Yeah, Jett or not.
What were you last time? Oh, you were Archaeologette.
Yeah.
All right, I got to think of a new name for you for next week. And we do have a special guest next week. I was going to leave that as a surprise. Jett kind of let the cat out of the bag on that one. Kade is going to be unavailable for our next recording. We will miss his impressions.
Miss you.
And his goofy nature. Maybe we'll have somebody else step up in his role while he's out. So we're going to have no one is as weird as you. That's true. But we're going to have a special guest to host with us. And Jett let the cat out of the bag. It will be my beautiful wife and Jett and Kade's beautiful mom. And we'll introduce her next week. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
I love you.
Bye.
Love you. Love you.